when it comes to the NBA and things that have been going on, what has caught your guys' eye, if you will? Anything? Any of the moves that have been made? Any ones that you like? Are you still really curious about the Kevin Durant, etc.? Yeah.
Two things. And this is going to be unpopular opinion.
Here we go.
If I'm the Celtics, I don't trade Jaylen Brown for Kevin Durant or whoever they have. I love Jaylen Brown and his ceiling. I know it's not going to be Kevin Durant, but I think if you look at like the makeup of that team, I think they can continually go to the finals with this team, especially adding the players that they have. That's one. Number two, the big talk is like, is Draymond worth $128 million and blah, blah, blah. And you know what? Before I got on here, I said, what analogy can I use? And I said, does Batman worry about gas in the Batmobile? Fuck no, he doesn't. Pay that man. You've won 4 championships. If Steph and Clay are happy, pay that man 130. I don't care. 150. I don't care, because he's going to do everything you need. He's the bad guy for that team, who's a super nice team. They need controversy. There's never been a team that's ever won that doesn't have a little controversy. And when Golden State is too nice, they don't win. They need to be sort of hated. It's what makes them fun to watch. They're the private school kids that are beating the shit out of everybody. And it is fun to watch sometimes. Well, sometimes you hate them, then you go, damn, they're really good.
And this is what the Warriors have kind of shown their hand a little bit, is that obviously they're willing to pay the tax, right? They're willing to pay the tax. This is where it gets dicey, people. They're willing to pay the tax, so they know. Draymond knows this. He's been there for a decade. He knows those owners. If they're willing to pay the tax, and they've been willing to pay the tax, if Draymond asks for his money, that's going to put them further in the tax, right? Whatever. But this is where it gets crazy. Who is Draymond trying to save money for? If the team comes to him and say, Draymond, take $20 million less so that we're not this far into the tax. He's like, you guys have been paying the tax. You always will pay the tax. So you're basically saying Lacob wants me to take less money so that he can make more money. And I know it's always, but it's like, that's all it really is. It's not like, hey, has he won a championship? We already know that Draymond's value to the Warriors is higher than it is like on the open market, but to them it's to probably double what it is. And he knows that. They know that. The championships prove that. So in that moment, if he's like, Draymond, if you can only take, 10, right, instead of 15, so Lacob can save some money. And he's like, well, I'm only going to be able to play this for a little bit. I want all of my money because I've proven that you get results when you give me my money. Now give me my money.
What does it look like when you have one of the greatest dynasties in the history of basketball and a player, like, you want to keep those three together for the history? They're going to be talking about the Golden State Warriors next to the Chicago Bulls.
You know what you become? You become the Chicago
San Antonio
Bulls.
Spurs. Yes.
You saw how the Chicago Bulls ended. You saw the Chicago Bulls ended. Pippen.
Can I ask you guys a question? What defines a max player?
His value to winning on a consistent basis.
Does not have to do with numbers.
There is no, because Draymond can have 0, 8, and 12 and that thing is moving. When Draymond comes out the game, they are a noticeably different team. He is the point guard.
He's the pendulum swing. He's the pendulum swing, right? Where there's I'm saying there's guys that are all numbers, right? So let's say a guy that's all numbers. That's the far end of the pendulum swing. And then the other end of the pendulum swing is a great guy like Draymond, where like his numbers are would nowhere near warrant max, but his impact. Mm-hmm. There's guys that get a lot of points and a lot of numbers, no impact. Those guys become max players. And there's players with not a lot of numbers with high level of impact. And those those are the guys that get max. So it's somewhere in between when that's where you get the guys like the Jason Tatums and the stuff like that, where they're like score a bunch of points and they're highly impactful. So like Draymond Green is on the end of the spectrum of numbers, so you can't really count him, but there's nobody that would ever, for numbers, his impact of the career. Game. his impact on the game is far greater than guys that average 25 and 15 I've seen.
Yeah,
Without
so
a
his
doubt.
career numbers are 8.7 points, 6.9 rebounds, and 5.4 assists.
And what is his
Last
career
year,
How many
numbers?
rebounds?
Go to his career now. Go to his career earnings.
How many rebounds?
No, just go to his career earnings now.
6.9.
Nice.
Where do I find career earnings at? I'm on Basketball Reference.
They're probably somewhere at the top.
Just say how much has Draymond made?
Career earnings.
Man, I'll tell you this. Here's another thing to think about. Who in the fuck are you going to bring in if he leaves? Like, who are you going to go get? Who are you going to get that knows the system, is your anchor on defense, is your emotional leader, doesn't shy away from controversy, wants to win every single game, sets the tone every single game, right? It's like there are things he does that make them like he will.
What's his career? Wait. What's his career earnings? What's his career earnings?
$129,755,715.
So now, he's asking for the max.
$129 million. That's it.
Yeah, listen. Hear me out.
For a Hall of Famer.
Listen. Hear me out. Hear me out.
Okay,
so he's got 100.
Okay.
120. He's made 130 million. He's about to get another 130 million. So for a guy who averages 8, 7, and 6 is about to be at 200.
6.9.
Is 6.9 is about to be at $260 million over the course of his career, $250 million. So you want to talk about his impact on the game? Don't tell me numbers. Those numbers are the numbers that mean something.